take a trip down memory lane and check out some of those San Francisco landmarks that you've made famous, Mr. Bennett, through your incredible voice, and visit some of your longtime friends who also want to pay tribute to you today.
Dear Tony, we're here to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the recording of your song and our song, I Left My Heart in San Francisco. And what better place to be than where it all started, the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco, where you first sang your song, our song, in the legendary Venetian room. I'm going to run ahead and meet you on film in places where you have helped us celebrate this city by the bay. So follow me down memory lane.
To my city by the bay.
You know, Tony, you've been an integral part of my life. And I get emotional when I think about it, because it was wonderfully happy times. And so I want to thank you.
Hello, Tony. Here we are at the home of the little cable cars that climb halfway through the stars. You know that line, don't you? And Tony, do you remember when we had the celebration to bring back the cable cars in Union Square and all over town, and you were there? And Tony, here's our pal, Carl Payne. As you know, he's a bell ringer of the cable cars for 10 years, and he was there on that day. So what happened?
Well, I had the honor and the privilege of meeting Mr. Bennett, and he rode on my car with me. We rode down the High Street Hill to the turnaround. And he sang a few lines, you know, I left my heart.
Oh, that song.
Oh, yes, that's his famous. That's what made us famous. And his song made us famous. So that's what we owe to him for all he's done for the city.
Tony Bennett, a household word in San Francisco. And for me, all the years that I've lived in the city, Tony Bennett has been like the next door neighbor. Wherever I am, whether it's Paris, whether it's Rome, whether it's Nice, whether it's Beijing, whether it's Shanghai, whether it's someplace in Africa or someplace in Russia, if I say, I left my heart, and they immediately say, Tony Bennett, in whatever language, that means that the national anthem for San Francisco, and literally for America, has come from this extraordinary, talented human being.
Down memory lane, we're at the AT&T Park, home of the San Francisco Giants. And as you know, you sing your song at the Giants. So you've been singing there a lot. And you were here in 2011 for the opening, and you sang your song, and guess what? We won the World Series. So Tony, we want you back.
Yeah.
His song, I Left My Heart in San Francisco, changed his whole life. Well, Tony, it has affected our lives too. From the first time Tony sang this beautiful love song at the Fairmont Hotel, to every time we hear its sweet sounds after a winning Giants game, it deepens our love for our hometown and for Tony Bennett.
Above the blue.
Tony, here we are above the blue and windy sea in your city by the bay. And you do recognize the Golden Gate Bridge with the sun shining today, no fog today. Remember 25 years ago, you were to come here and sing with the San Francisco Symphony for the 50th anniversary of the Golden Gate Bridge. You were performing at the Herbst Theater, and you may remember that this place was really filled with people, thousands and thousands of people that came to celebrate. And you couldn't get through the crowd. So I said, okay, let's get a helicopter, land it in front of City Hall, come out in a helicopter, and they said, but he's afraid of heights and helicopters. And I said, blindfold him, put him in. Well, magically you got here and you worked your magic with your song and the Symphony Orchestra and Carol Channing. And when you sang, I left my heart in San Francisco, and the cascade of fireworks came over the bridge, it was a moment that I'm getting chill bumps. It was a moment to remember. Hi, Tony. I wish I were still mayor of San Francisco to be able to be the one to give you the key to the city. But what I can show you is a painting that goes a ways back. It was in 1983, I think. It's of both of us on a newly restored cable car, and celebrating the return of the cable cars, and also I left my heart in San Francisco. You've helped put San Francisco on the map and kept it there with that beautiful song. Thank you and congratulations. In San Francisco. Tony, I guess you recognize where I am, the Louis and Baby Symphony Hall, where you have left your heart and left lots of memories for thousands and thousands of patrons of the San Francisco Symphony. Most recently, you were here, as you know, with Katie Lang, and you all were having the best time. It was for the Black and White Ball, and you made all of us have a wonderful time, as you always have, Tony. And then, what I really remember is when you were here, and sitting right up there in box P, I think it was Her Royal Majesty, Queen Elizabeth of England. Wow. And you made her smile, you made her laugh. The show was by our wonderful late Steve Silver, Beach Blanket Babylon, and cast of about 1,000. And there you were, Mary Martin saying, getting to know all about me. And then you ended up the show with your song, I Left My Heart in San Francisco. And you have left it here, Tony, but please come back many times because your heart is waiting for you here, and so are we. Much love.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you very much.
It's been an honor to welcome you to the Royal Man. Thank you, Mr. Bennett. So nice to have you with us again.
Your golden sun.
Phenomenal! Well, Mr. Bennett, as you can see, a lot of San Franciscans have left a big part of their hearts with you. And one of those is the man who leads our world champion San Francisco Giants. Check out the bling, by the way, I'm just saying. That's championship bling right there. I want to bring up to the stage now my boss, the man who leads your San Francisco Giants and is one of your biggest fans, Mr. Larry Bennett.
Well, as you've seen, Tony's recording of I Left My Heart in San Francisco is a huge part of not just the city's tradition, but the San Francisco Giants tradition. So we've done a count, and since we've been in the new ballpark, it has been played a total of 573 times. After Giants wins, including playoff wins, Tony, and including World Series wins. And importantly, we almost lost the Giants, and in 1993, we made some desperate calls to Tony when the team was saved, and we asked Tony, there's only one person that could kick off the new generation, the new era of Giants baseball on opening day in 1993. and that was Tony Bennett, and he sang God Bless America, and I left my heart in San Francisco on that day. I think you remember it. It was an unbelievable day, and it brought down the house, as did your performance at the All-Star Game, as did your performance during the World Series. You are a huge part of the San Francisco Giants, Tony, and as we all know, you haven't arrived until you have your own bobblehead. Last year we created a Tony Bennett bobblehead on Tony Bennett night with a voice chip that you push a button, guess what, you sing what comes out. I left my heart in San Francisco. I also want to mention that Tony's a wonderful artist, and as many of you know, Tony painted a heart, a big heart in San Francisco, part of the Heroes and Hearts program at San Francisco General Hospital, and it's permanently on display in Union Square. Next time you're in Union Square, check out Tony's heart. It's really quite beautiful. So it's only fitting that on this anniversary, 50th anniversary, we create a permanent place in honor of Tony at our ballpark at AT&T Park. So we are going to rename Suite 1, which is the most majestic suite in the park, sweeping views of the bay and the city, is now going to be the Tony Bennett Suite. Come by.